Okay, for the guys who are just starting out on this running your own boat thing, I get a lot of questions, so you know, I'm just going to do a little structure fishing, and I'll kind of take you along through it today, and just how I go about it. It's just my way. It's probably not the right way, but you know, it works out pretty good for me. So I'm going to start off here on a, this is going to be a small spot, so I'm going to make it challenging for me today, and I'm by myself, so you know, I'm going to have to get the anchor down and get set up on it, and the whole deal. So this is going to be a little spot off of Huntington Beach called the LCI. It's a really pretty small wreck. Not the easiest one to get on, but when you do, sometimes it bites, condition depending. Now I don't know what the conditions are because I'm still in the harbor, but I will find out once I get out there, and we will continue when we get close to the spot. Okay, we're about a quarter of a mile out from the spot right now that I'm going to start fishing on, and I've assessed the conditions and they're not looking too good today. So what we got going on here is, this is April, and traditionally a very windy month for us, and we have had a couple days of wind. It's been blowing like 15-17 knots in the afternoon for the last couple days. So the water temperature is just a little bit below 60 right now. It's gone down. My friend was out earlier in the week and he was getting 62, so it's dropped 2 degrees. The water's looking pretty upwelled and green, and so we're going to have to see what goes here. Now, okay, let me explain the process of how I get on these spots, okay? I'm 5/10 of a mile out from the spot. I'm almost on it. So, in fact, I'm just going to take the boat out of gear right now and put the autopilot on standby. So, what I like to do is I like to have my GPS in the map mode, and as I get closer and closer to the spot, I zoom my range in. So you can see it shows wreck right here on the chart right there, but that wreck isn't actually where the actual spot is, and but I'm real close. So you know, I'm going to zoom that thing in all the way. So that's zoomed in all the way. That's just more for pinpoint accuracy as far as getting on the spot. Now, what I'm going to have to do now is kind of assess the conditions. So we got a pretty big swell today since it's been so windy. It's not huge. It's like about 3 to 5 foot, and it's pretty close interval coming in. And it's supposed to get windy this afternoon, so I don't have a lot of time to do this. And you could, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but that water's pretty green, but you know, it looks somewhat clean, not totally rolled over. So what I'm going to have to judge at this point is how I'm going to lay on the spot. And I can feel in my face a little bit of breeze coming from the south-southwest or the west-southwest. And as far as which direction the current is running, I'm not going to be able to tell that because I'm in an open water spot. I'm not going to be able to tell that until I'm actually got the anchor down and see how the boat lays. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to approach this spot. I kind of got an idea of how I want to position the boat as far as facing into the breeze here a little bit. I'll put the anchor down, and then you know, I'll see how the boat lays, and then I will note that on the compass and see how that relates to how I'm sitting on the spot. But generally you want to be sitting right on these spots, not directly on top of them, but lead them a little bit. So my GPS is, the alarm's going off and telling me that I'm near it, so I'm trying to get this thing positioned over the spot and steer the boat and hold the camera at the same time. So I've gone a little bit past it. Okay, so you can see all this. I'm getting a piece of the spot there. You see some clutter up above that. That's probably perch or something, and bait. Just not really hitting it, but I am getting the activity all around the spot. Like I said, this is a pretty small spot right here. So not tiny, but probably a little bit challenging even for the more experienced guys. Okay, looks like I'm lining up to come on it here. Okay, There we go. There we go. So you can see how it hardened up right here on the second echo. I'm trying to get this thing pointed into the swell, but the swell's a little big today and bouncing around a little bit, so trying to hold that camera. This is hard. Okay, you can see I came off the spot, how everything cleaned up right here. See how that all cleaned up? Okay, and I'm pointing that thing right into the swell in the direction of the breeze. I'm going to lead this a little way, and then I'm going to have to run up there and get that anchor down. Okay, so I take the boat out of gear. Okay, just got to bump it in reverse to stop the forward progress. Now I'm going to run up there and set that anchor down. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I got that anchor down, and now I'm going to have to wait for the boat to settle into the position where it wants to sit, and I'll make an assessment from there to see if I need to reset or if I'm good where I'm at. So if you look at this, so here's my mark. Now this range is pretty tight here, so it's at 1/8 of a mile. So you know, I'm probably about 100 feet in front of the spot. So I've led the spot. So there's the spot, there's my boat. Okay, one thing you got to kind of figure out here is, you know, which way the current's going to be running in order to get your present your bait to the spot you're trying to fish. So you can see a little bit of bubbles coming off my boat. It kind of looks like the current's running straight down the beach, which isn't really my favorite direction on this spot. I like it running kind of down and in towards the beach. But one thing that you could do to kind of judge current, other than putting a line in and fishing, is you could cut up some bait and just throw it over the side there and watch what direction it's going to drift away, and that'll kind of give you an idea of what the current's doing. And it don't look like it's doing much. If anything, it looks like it's running a little bit uphill. We'll have to see here. These conditions look tough today. At least the water's got pretty decent clarity. Clean green, I don't mind too much, but it does look like it upwelled a little bit, and there's a little bit of plankton. I didn't really see a whole lot of fish on that spot other than the little stuff. I wasn't getting the big bass, the bigger bass marks, but that bait's just sinking straight down. I wound up laying about probably 45 degrees from what my intentions were. So but at least I know now. So I'm gonna go ahead and fish for a little bit. If I do reset, next time I know that by my compass, since I'm laying here at about 278, 280 degrees, that's the direction that I want to have the boat pointed in relation to the spot. So I want to come over the spot at about 278, 280 degrees and set up that way. So, but we'll see what goes. I'm going to go ahead and tie a lead head on here and try one of those squids. And you know, so I'm getting, that looks like some mackerel mark there. So we'll just go ahead and fish and see what goes here. Okay, so I'm trying to locate the spot. I'm starting off with this. I just got frozen squid today, but it's really good quality, so it's fresh frozen squid. And I'm going to start off, and I'm just going to try and locate it before I reset, because if I'm getting a piece of it, then I'll go ahead and stay where I am. If not, then I'll go ahead and reset. So I know by the mark on my GPS that the spot's over that way more. So that's where I'm going to fish towards and see if I can get a piece. If I can't, then I'm going to have to reset. But I am starting to swing in a little bit more in towards the coast, so I am getting more on my mark here. All right, well, we swung into our original direction, my original direction that I intended the boat to be sitting. I've got absolutely no current, so it's making it kind of tough. But I need to reset. I'm just not getting it done like that. So that, you know, those are the things you got to do. If you're not sitting on it, or you're never going to find out if they're biting or not if you can't get your baits to to the spot, regardless if it's live bait or frozen squid or swim baits or whatever you're fishing. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the anchor, and this time I'm going to get on this thing proper without dicking around with the camera, so I could use both hands and fully concentrate and see how we wind up on the second reset here. It's always a good sign when you hang the bottom, because you know you're sitting on it. That don't mean they're going to bite. But I am on the spot, I know that. Shit, there is a fish down there. I knew if I tried to do a video like this, I'd wind up not catching. But, you know, that's it. And that thing's small. But that just goes to show that, you know, you're not going to come out here every time and catch fish. I mean, I'm sitting right on this thing at this point. I mean, my lineup's perfect. You can't see it, but it's Ruby's Restaurant on the end of the Huntington Beach Pier. I'm sitting right on it. I'm hanging structure. It's just that they're not biting. And that's just because of the conditions, you know. So a little bit of upwelled water and a couple days of wind and just got the fish off the bite. But maybe, you know, we have some tides today, so maybe they'll start biting, you know, a little later. I'm going to stick it out for about another half an hour. If not, then I'm going to go ahead and make a move. Okay, sand bass. All right, that's two fish in a row right there, both little ones. It's better than what I had been doing for about the last hour. So I've had the camera off the whole time. So, ouch. God darn, man, those things got sharp teeth. Maybe I don't have a lot of bait, you know, I just brought some frozen, so maybe I'll just start chunking some of it up. I've got absolutely no current today. I mean, any bait I throw it's just sinking straight down, and I'm swinging around quite a bit, you know, because I don't have any breeze, or what little breeze there is, it's kind of shifting around. So that's just all part of the conditions that you have to deal with. I mean, if I was smart, I would have came out here on a day in the summer and pulled up to a spot where the meter was stacked with fish and just kicked the anchor over and started whaling away, and then I'd look pretty good. But this is real fishing right here, so this is how it goes some days. All right, it looks like these things are starting to bite. This is my third fish in a row, and this one I actually got bit on when I was sinking. It wasn't right on the bottom, so maybe things are going to come together here. And it won't look like such a chunk. Actually a fairly decent calico there. That one's probably legal size there. I'm not going to measure it. I'm not keeping none of these, but let's hope that this keeps rolling here. Okay. Throw a little bit of cut squid there. Out 4 casts, 4 fish, so it looks like they're starting to bite. Whew. I was getting depressed. They're all small though. That feels like a better one. That's a respectable bass right there in anybody's book, I'd say. So these things look like they want to start biting a little bit. Alright, not a bad one. Keep that chum going. Okay, I'm swinging around quite a bit. So I'm swinging around quite a bit. I came off the spot. So I got to wait for the boat to swing back into position to get back on the spot. So my lineup there, I don't know if you can see it, but it's that red roof on the tip of the Huntington Beach Pier. So now the boat's starting to come back around, and I'm gonna wait till I'm lined up with that, and then I'll go ahead and cast back out. Okay, there's a little better one. That one's probably legal size. Like I said, I'm not keeping them, so I'm not measuring them. But they're biting now, so go figure. I thought that today was going to be a total bust. But evidently something's changing, but I can't tell. I'm still not looking at much current, and the wind's starting to come up. I'm going to have to get out of here pretty soon because it's supposed to get windy today. And I'm swinging around all over the place, and but you know, go figure. Hanging structure. Oh shit, that was a fish. Straight small ones. I think I've made the point here though, so I'm just going to go ahead and shut off the camera and just fish. I'll turn it on if I catch something good. But basically, you know, that's how you do it. Not the best conditions today, but you know, still able to put something together here.